But. So, why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourself?
I am Dick Gill. I am right now currently 69 years old. I retired from the Army after 25 years. I retired from being a real estate appraiser for another 17 years, and that was the end of my retirement. Well, no, I was mayor here in Portage, and I retired from that. So that brings me up to date here. I'm a graduate of Bowling Green State University.
What did you study, actually? Because that's kind of what we're going to talk
about. First thing I studied was chemistry. And I did very well in it, except I decided one Saturday morning in the spring, it was Saturday morning and I was doing some additional lab work. And I'm looking outside and I'm going, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And I said, no. And I'd already completed them. That was the end of my thing. And I'd completed my major in 2.5 years. And so I switched and became an English major with a history minor, which meant that I had like 15 hours that I could transfer over. And I had to start all over again, basically. And in 5 semesters, I completed English major, history, and political science minor. I was taking between 18 and 21 hours every semester. And if you're familiar with an English major, all they do is read. So that's what I did for about 2.5 years, was read between the English and the history. So I had a specialty, though, in English, in that I was a folklore major, which they no longer have there. I think I'm the last of the folklorists that Bowling Green trains that still is active in the field. I still work occasionally. It's just a hobby right now. And I did a bunch about the first 15 or 20 years out of college, but as the years go on and my body disintegrates, I have cut back. I still tell stories, and I really enjoy telling them. I mean, that's just kind of a hobby of mine. One thing is, I never charge. I won't charge. I want to keep storytelling alive. And so I will go anywhere and talk to anybody. I've talked to college students, I've talked to high school students, I've talked to grade schools. I've talked in several different libraries. They'll have my wife and I, she's as good a folklorist as I am. But we'll go in and we'll, get me started. Just tell me how long you want me to talk, because I can talk for hours.
Well, hopefully we can get at least a little snippet.
Okay.
And it's probably one of your more famous stories, which was the Elmore Rider.
Right.
So first, why don't you actually give us a little information on the legend itself, and then you can talk about your experience and what you took away from it.
Okay. My first folklore course was just an introduction to folklore. And I was going around and talking to people and things, and one of the guys in my fraternity was dating a girl from Elmore. And we were in the Union, and she told me, oh, you're getting like ghost stories? And I said, yeah. She says, there's one up in Elmore. I said, well, what is it? And then she proceeded to tell me. She said, it was a guy from Elmore who was engaged to a girl there, and he left for World War I. And he fought through Germany and all this kind of stuff. The war was over. He was shipped back to the United States. He got his last pay there in New York City, and he bought a motorcycle, which was a relatively new thing at that point. And he rode the motorcycle back to Elmore. And he drove it out to her house in the country. Got there, and she told him that she was engaged to another man. This made him very angry, and he left and went through the side of a bridge just down the road, and they never found his head, and they never found the light off the motorcycle. But he repeats that ride on the anniversary of his death, which was March 21st, and that sounded like a good story.
Mm-hmm. 1 second.